Loot, spirits, bards, and the apocalypse. It's so good. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew, and today I'm here to do another book review. But before we get into this book review, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. And you can check the description box down below for links to all of my social media, including information about my Patreon. It is a great help to help support the channel, and it is always greatly appreciated. And that said guys, we are here to talk about R.K. Ashwick's The Stray Spirit. And this is a non-spoiler review, and it's kind of interesting because it's a very simple premise with cozy fantasy vibes, so I can't get too deep into the characters, but in the story, because, I mean, it's a pretty short book, but this is Lute Song Book 1. It's got an amazing cover, and this was requested that I be read as a review copy, and I agreed to it. And it's been sitting on the shelf for a while, and I finally got to it. And I'm just going to tell you right now that I loved it. Just so you don't have to worry. I absolutely adored this book. Essentially what we've got here is we have got an individual by the name of Emery Carrick. He is kind of this up-and-coming bard. He's playing in the cities, doing the small gigs and stuff like that, trying to get noticed by the guild. And the guild is like highly exclusive. Once you've made it into the guild, like you've made it. And this is like his primary drive. Like he refuses to leave the city, going so far as having broken up with his girlfriend when she went to another city to study. And he's like, I can't leave. I've got to stay here. I've got to get my guild pin. And, you know, he sacrifices everything. He sacrifices family, loved ones, everything. And so it is a night of a festival. And basically, they have these kind of fanes or these shrines where you can kind of go and give tribute to, like, spirits and stuff like that. But they don't quite believe in the spirits. And basically what ends up happening is Emery goes out to this shrine one night right before a performance that could land him some sort of prestige. And he makes an offering. And then something weird happens, like this apocalyptic event, or like the first wave of apocalyptic event happens, and the grove starts to kind of just glow. And as that happens, basically there's this giant flash of light, a voice speaks to him, and it says, I need you to help me. And then he goes, okay, sure. And as that happens, he holds up his lute, and a spirit by the name of Aspen jumps into his lute. And it's fantastic because all of a sudden his lute, which is kind of broken, you know, he's on his last leg. Emery's not doing well. He's out of money and he's kind of just on his last leg. And all of a sudden his lute sounds like a Stradivarius. And because of this event, like a team of bards that kind of, you know, got scared, ran away, opening up a slot for him to perform in front of a guild member. And that kind of launches us into the story. And it's fantastic. Now I mentioned that Emery has an ex-girlfriend, and that's relevant here because basically these kind of apocalyptic surges come into play, and Emery has promised Aspen that, you know, hey, as long as you stay in the lute, because, you know, the lute sounds amazing right now, I'll help you solve this issue. And Aspen, who is very happy-go-lucky, very easygoing, very excitable, very curious, almost kind of like a toddler, it's just like, ooh, what's that? What's this? What's that? What's that taste like? Like, he's all over the place. But I love Aspen. As they're investigating kind of the historical, they go to the library and they bump into Cal, who is Emery's ex-girlfriend. And so we kind of get to explore that relationship, what led to the breakdown, what's Emery's history, what's his relationship like with the people around him, how he interacts, how he got to be here. And then we got to get to explore and grow with those two as they have to deal with, you know, residual feelings, all that sort of stuff, all while trying to deal with this kind of apocalypse. And I love it. I love this because it's fantastic. It's got very good found family vibes. It's got a redemption arc in it. It's got, it's just got the warm and fuzzies, but at the same time, it's also got a lot of pain and a lot of heart because these characters kind of showcase that people torture themselves the most rather than anybody else. Emery's situation is he's kind of ended up in this situation kind of because he's pig-headed and he's stubborn, and he's kind of got to look into himself and do some introspection and realize how he got here and what really matters to him, because there are multiple junctions throughout this book where we see Emery make important decisions, and really he's got to assess, like, is it being a member of a guild really worth everything when I could be possibly saving people's lives, because they are in a mad rush because these apocalyptic surges keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, potentially leading up to one giant big surge. And they're all kind of like scrambling to try and figure out a way to survive, because there is an historical record that this may have happened before, and they've got to unveil the ancient history in order to save the people in their surrounding areas. And I absolutely loved it. The world building is very simple, but at the same time, there's like a potential like god complex, or a god hierarchy, I should say, not god complex. That's something completely different. But there's a hierarchy of gods, potentially, considering we have spirits. That's not too far-fetched. But I love nature spirits. I love bardic. I love the kind of cozy vibes. I love the deep dives into the character and really focusing on a small cast of characters that we just kind of get to enjoy our time with. It's a good ride. It's fast-paced. It doesn't have any real slow spots. It's not gonna like slow down and doing it. Like it just is what it is, and I loved it. I loved everything about this. This is Lutz book 1, which fills me with excitement because of the way this ends. I'm very excited for book 2 because I need it now. I loved exploring these characters. I loved being in the day and the life with them. I had a fantastic time with this. In terms of pacing, this is a very fast-paced book. I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Chef's kiss. I loved it. Characterization. We really get to deep dive into Emery and a little bit into Cal and a little bit into Aspen. And Aspen is very much like a toddler, so he's kind of growing and he's building connections and stuff like that. So characterization, I'm going to give another 4 out of 5. I really think we got some great, solid, possibly above average characterization in this story. In terms of fun, 5 out of 5. Aspen, because he is a toddler, has all that energy. I've got 2 toddlers here in my house, and so it was just kind of fun to see it on the page. So he's full of life. I loved it. Inventiveness, I don't know if we're exactly reinventing the wheel here, but we are doing some interesting things within this story that I found very refreshing and not something I'm totally used to. So inventiveness, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed how unique this felt, but at the same time it felt kind of familiar. Darkness. Does this have a darkness scale? This has more emotional darkness than anything else. And so I'd give it about a 2.5 out of 5. There are some darker moments here, but really the darker moments are used to highlight and shine on the more kind of warm and fuzzier feeling. So it makes those more rewarding. In terms of fun, I had so much fun with this. I'll give that a 4.5 out of 5. I had a great time. If I had to score this out of 10, I would probably give this a 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed The Stray Spirit by R.K. Ashwick, and I cannot wait for the sequel because it's going to be so much fun. So let me know in the comments down below, does this sound interesting to you, and are you going to pick it up? Please let me know, and if you've got other cozy fantasies, drop them in the comments down below as well, because sometimes I just need myself a good cozy read to just kind of give me the warm and fuzzies, because, you know, life happens. But that's all I really got for you today, guys. So till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion.